Solutions After Hours Ask the Expert series. I am Margarita Estrada, COO of Voyage, and I'm here with my colleagues, Tony Blanco, CEO, and Mario Lewis, CFO. Thank you for joining us from Eastern, Central, Mountain, and Pacific time zones. We are so happy that you're here with us tonight. Remember to grow your business with Voyage, ignite your career with Voyage, and start your voyage when? Today. For value-added content, follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Start Your Voyage, and follow us on LinkedIn. So today we're going to talk about a cutting-edge topic. Used as a tool, AI is helpful because one can gather information at record speed, saving time, effort, and energy. But here's the snag: the possibility of cognitive dependency. And the solution, of course, is to use AI as a tool rather than a crutch. There is a significant growing concern among researchers and experts that the over-reliance of generative AI tools is contributing to cognitive atrophy. And this is going to younger and younger ages. Studies suggest that excessive use of AI can lead to reduced critical thinking, weakened memory, diminished problem-solving skills, and lower brain engagement. If we don't use it, we'll lose it. German newest psychiatrist calls it, his name is Dr. Manfred Spitzer. He coined the term digital dementia. So we are going to talk about tips and tricks that you can use to strengthen your cognition so you're not dependent on AI, but instead you control it. But let's talk about the places where AI is already prevalent that we don't realize that it is. For example, your smart devices and your virtual assistants, such as Siri, Alexa, or Google Assistant, your smart home, your security in your home, streaming and social media. We all know that it's prevalent there, right? Google, Bing, and Edge use AI to understand search context, text and email. Remember those autocorrect? That's all AI.
Yep.
E-commerce, when you go shopping at Amazon, eBay, or Etsy, fraud prevention tools, digital payments from your bank, transportation, such as Google Maps and Waze, right? Ride sharing on Uber, vehicle assistance, daily productivity, such as ChatGPT, photo enhancements, and you can look good on camera. That's all AI. Wearables, smartwatches that tell you about your heart rate, right? How are you doing with your blood pressure, medical diagnostics. So in other words, we cannot avoid this. It is here. It's been here for a while. It is expansive, but we have to try to have these strategies to reduce AI reliance so that this way we always keep our cognition. So one of the ways that we can keep it is through practice human first thinking. What does that mean? It means that before using AI, attempt to solve problems and brainstorm ideas or write drafts on your own, using your own brain. And only use AI for augmentation to bring strength to what you already have. Mario, expand on that, please.
Sure. And I wouldn't be remiss if we just kind of step back and just say, AI tools are important. I think many of us fear not being engaged in using them because we fear that we're going to either be missing out or left behind. So all those examples you gave, Marguerite, are wonderful on how many of us, almost, I think all of us, are using AI tools today, right now. And we will continue to do that as the technology continues to become better, it improves, it has more intuition to it. But while we're doing that, it's important that we are able to not lose the inherent skills that we've already had, that we've developed, or that we need to hone in order to be independent thinkers that can then use AI as what is intended to be, which is a tool, not as a crutch, not as something to hang on to. But so one of the things you identified is just starting to solve problems as you have in the past, continuing to allow your brain to function in the way that you're not relying on to do all of your calculations, approaches, methodologies, writing, because writing is going to become the new skill of the new century if people just continue to rely on AI tools. But one of the things that I've noticed is that it's important to set some type of boundaries. Um, One of the things I do even at home, just making sure that My kids are still developing their writing skills, and they're just not always using AI tools to come up with the first draft.
Yes.
And I remind myself, I'm old school. I do that the same way. I will take my notes and then run it through the AI tools to see what comes out, but then also compare that information to what is my desired outcome. So I can one, test the tool itself and to make sure it's valuable for use when I choose to use it, but I'm also not losing the skills I had before, so I don't lose it. It's one of those things, you lose, you don't use it, you lose it.
You're gonna lose it. That's
And I
right.
think it's important that all of us, and I say that to all of our listeners, that you always want to continue to have the inherent skills that you've developed. I'll hand it to you, Darlene, to build on some of those insights.
Yeah, and before we do, I coming into tonight's program, I was giggling because I was saying to my colleagues, gosh, everyone is making such a big fuss about the disruption of AI coming into our workplace and all these changes we may need to accommodate. I've been working a long time, and I went from a standard typewriter. Okay, so for me, I'm thinking, this is automation. This is so wonderful. This is great. This is so helpful because I do recall if your typing wasn't right, that sheet had to come out and you had to redo it. You could not use the whiteout on legal documentation. You
Yep.
could not, all the things that we were working on back then, we relied on standard ink. And I think about now all of the tools, like I recall when they introduced word processing. Oh, what's that? We have a device that's going to check our spelling. Oh my goodness, the boss's handwriting would be a big scribble, and I would try to make the letter perfect. And yeah, I totally dated myself, but I just want to say, let's not be afraid of these tools because they're meant to really be something to help us build efficiency, being more productive, being able to build business. And efficiency is wonderful to have. You want to be able to hone on that because it will give you the ability to grow your business more, to be able to do more with your time, and to offset some of that activity that doesn't need to be happening. um, I also want to touch on something that I think is funny for those that are not as user friendly with AI tools. One, get to know it. So I've recently chose a tool. I've gotten to know it over the last couple of months, and it's interesting because now I find myself correcting it, letting it know what it's getting wrong. So this is a combination deal. AI cannot get it right without human intervention. We are essentially feeding this tool. It's a little scary when you think of it because every time we're letting it know what they've gotten wrong, somewhere in that world of the algorithms, they're recalibrating that to make sure that those corrections are not happening. So
Mhm.
we're actually advancing this technology every time we use it. But I just want to let folks know that I think it's okay to be comfortable introducing a new tool. Getting comfortable utilizing something new will help you strengthen your ability to just be adaptive and employable, honestly, because that's what employers are looking for in today's workforce. Can we roll out another program? Will you adapt to this? Will you adapt to that? We have to try this. It is what it is. It's here to stay.
Yep. And also employers, not only are they looking for that, but they're looking towards your soft skills as well, which we have discussed with you before in a previous episode, right? So it's a combination of knowing the technology, but also strengthening the soft skills. It's like you mentioned before, Darlene, how you use your AI tools, but at the same time, you make sure to look it over to correct those errors that it may have, because after all, it is a machine, right? And so you look at it to ensure that that it spits out and it's corrected so that it reflects you. So you're strengthening your cognitive skills by doing that, by aiding it and helping it out. So many ways that you can strengthen your cognition skills is through reading. Reading and researching is so important. I know that at times I find myself losing patience when I read. I remember there was a time that I would read, and if it was interesting, I just couldn't put the book down. Now I don't have the patience, and I'm tempted to look at Google to see a synopsis. Oh, I was like, back in the day, they used to have Cliff Notes. of books, right?
Dating
So
ourselves
is
now.
that the Cliff Notes? Remember the Cliff Notes? So I find myself impatient, looking to Google to shorten the story so I don't have to read the whole thing. So now I'm trying to break that habit and to start reading again and not have the temptation to look at Google to
Mhm.
find out more about it, rather than instead read the book and then go to Google to see what people are saying, right? And not to depend on it. I also like Mario, you mentioned before about the importance of writing. The importance of writing. And there is the brain to hand connection that enhances writing. This is why in New Jersey, Governor Murphy already put the law in effect that children must be taught cursive, because they found that there was a cognitive decline in children. And so now they have to learn how to write cursive. So writing also keeps your mind sharp and avoids dependency induced cognitive decline. So let's go to applying the tool drift prevention. So clearly define a specific task you want AI to perform. So Darlene, I'd like you to get into this one because I think this is your territory here. Apply tool drift prevention.
I'm sorry, apply what? What are we doing here?
Tool drift prevention. Bullet point number 4.
I like that topic. Because think about it, where people you kind of design those AI tools for a certain purpose, and
Yes.
people start to use things outside of the boundaries of what it's intended to do. So, like, I think about a project I had before where I was using an AI tool to help um, put together meeting notes for a certain type um, of of meeting that I had, because I wanted to summarize it. But I always want to make sure that we don't use members of my team don't use it for purposes outside of that. So it's the reason why is because I still want people to become good at drafting their own notes, as in the writing style that works for our stakeholders and our clients. So if they're starting to use those AI tools in a different way from what it was intended, you're going to get products that don't look like what the intended product is. So for that term applying, you want to prevent people from drifting away to using those tools from things where it was not intended, and which would then create different types of over reliance. So, that's a great point you're raising, Margarita.
Thank
It
you.
is, and I'll touch on that. I'm sorry, I have the script and I did not turn it around. There's a part B.
It's quite all right. This is why we help each other, right? And we jump right in. Yes.
Sure. So one of the things that I want to touch on, just in terms of just using tools and this notion of like drifting and people becoming very reliant and not wanting to, do it themselves. Like I think that in order for us to really succeed in the use of AI and tech, we need to be in it with the AI together. And we need to clearly look and see where the analysis piece is super important. We need to really be critical about what it is spitting out to us, what we're putting into
Mm,
it, because at the end of the day, there are certain tasks that you can't really put into an AI tool. Here's an example. If I have open registration at an event and for some reason folks have to use an old school pen and paper because for some reason, their digital registration didn't process or something went wrong and the Wi-Fi can't connect or whatever might be happening in that instance, we're thinking everyone has to write it down. So when it office has to look at this sheet of paper, there could be 500 names on it. How many people did we see?
yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, AI would be great to snap a picture and be able to put everybody and populate them in a worksheet for us.
Mm,
Wonderful. Great way to rely on the tool. Not a great way to rely on the tool because guess what? The handwriting, it might be off. It might have a lot of typos. It might not capture all the details. So you still need that individual to really sit and say, well, who did we talk to today? And does this contact information get captured correctly? Like, it has to be like a combination. And I'm thinking, on some of the tasks that I know that teams are working on where they're using a tool to quickly capture something and it doesn't get it right. Or if I want to put together a report and I want to present something in a certain way. And I've gotten all the figures, and I know just because I'm a builder of things, I know what the chart should look like. But my AI tool didn't really get it right. Manipulate that in there. I need to make sure that, so I think it's really important. Like I don't want to drift this away from using the tools because they are essential because like I said, especially if you have broader tasks that, that really would come in handy for some automation, you still need human intervention. It still has to happen. It's a big part of it. It's a combination system. I
Mhm.
laugh with some of the recruiters I've worked with because when we think about AI, we're also helping people with their resume writing. And now I have all the recruiters that I work with saying, Darlene, I keep getting AI'd. And I laugh because I'm like, oh my gosh, what they're saying is now they're having a really difficult time deciding who is capable of what functionalities for the job, who's the right candidate, because they're all using AI tools to write their resumes. We've seen a big shift there. Now we see a lot of a call for video submissions for some of these things because of that. We want to be able to have people prove that they actually have this knowledge that they're now attesting to by having this long, drawn out write up. And then you meet the person and you're like, they could not have written that. There is no
Yep.
way.
That's right.
And some of the folks that we've mentored even, have brought us some of these resumes and we laugh and even joke with them, hey, are you going to be able to defend this when you're in that interview space? I want to take us on a pause because it's commercial break time.
Yes, it
It is
is.
time for us to remember that we are here to support you, for you to grow your business with Voyage, for you to ignite your career with Voyage, and for you to start your voyage today. Become a Voyage Insider. Continue to follow us, subscribe, send us emails. Let us know you're interested in our content and you have questions. We've got answers. This series is for you. That is Ask the Experts, and we appreciate being with you on Thursday nights. Let's get back into our program.
Thank you, Darlene. So now we get to the next point is engage in offline activities such as in-person conversations, networking. And Darlene, you are the queen of networking. You've said that before. Real world and non-digital problem solving. So this is key here, forming relationships that add value to your life. Knowing and understanding who you are, what you're about, and what you bring to your whole social, professional circle, and family circle as well. All of these things will also enhance your cognition. Now, we're not trying, like Donnie said, to get you away from using AI, but we do have to be partners with it. And we have to understand that we are the ones that control it, not the other way around. So it's a collaborative partnership, and hopefully it will be a loving partnership. We shall see as we go forward, right, Mario?
Yep. The great thing, and this is what Darlene had mentioned, like you're seeing the prevalence of now people using AI tools to represent them, like specifically when you talk about interviews, but then um, the critical skills around of interaction. So we talk about the in-person meetings, in-person interviews, in-person networking have become now critically important because you in today's world you can't just accept the resume and have a short conversation. It now has put the onus on you having a more in-depth conversation to do your due diligence to make sure that the AI, you are not falling in love with the AI, that you actually have the person with the right skills coming in and accepting that role. So I think what it also now does by placing such big focus on AI tools, it also places the focus on those other soft skills of those other tangible people skills that are important. It now shines a brighter spotlight on that those have to be well developed. And I see that every day where now people are starting to come into the office more because they want to get that mentoring and that support in order to develop those types of skills. Because I think people are realizing that, well, yes, the technology tools are awesome. They're great. They help us to become more efficient, but it doesn't allow us to connect. It doesn't allow us to be real. It doesn't allow us to be authentic. And it doesn't have the deep insights that customers, clients, and special people are looking for. So I kind of building on those thoughts, Darlene. I hand it to you.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And you know me, I love networking. I just came back from being at an event a little bit earlier this evening. I mean, I love it. This is
I
just what I
rest my
live
case.
for, which is why I didn't see part B. I mean, uh, what we want to do is we definitely want to make sure the human connection is always there. It is so essential to every part of our lives, especially in business. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Whether you're trying to build a client relationship or get a promotion and do the right thing in your career or trying to level up, the only way to do that is through that human interaction, because now what these AI tools are doing is making everybody fancy, and we
Yep.
don't know what's going on. And that's really the truth of the case, because I got to tell you, I've got folks applying for roles. I see all these beautifully, eloquently written, cover letters, and then the resume attached tells a remarkable story. And then I connect with them and I'm like, do you know what you put in there?
Yep.
So it's becoming more and more that you will get your next job opportunity, especially if you're in mid-level management and up. The next job opportunity is going to come from these social networks. You need to be around the people that are actually witnessing and seeing your work. You need to be documenting your work, whether you're using AI, that's great. But I would say just remember that you need to back it up. You need to show what it is, put things in your portfolio, you can use the tool to tell some of your story, but your story isn't real without the person. And that is going to be really strong. And that's the only way you get that, is being out in the public, interacting, meeting people. It's going to be a lot harder. These AI tools now, at first the challenge was, oh, we need to make sure applicants have their resumes that are compliant, that are ATS compliant. Oh my goodness, did it pass ATS? Did it get in front of the right folks? Now we've bombarded all of the recruiters to have hundreds and thousands of resumes that all look the same. They've all been put through AI. They all look in. Who do we call? And these are the challenges that I'm hearing from my employers. And they say to me, Darlene, please do me a favor. I can't deal with this network thing anymore. And I can't have all these resumes. If you find good people, send them my way. It's powerful. And it really speaks to the role of the human connection and even capacity building with organizations, making sure you're getting the right talent in the room.
Wow.
Thank you, Darlene. I think we'll close out here. We'd like to remind the audience that by treating AI as a supporting, not leading actor, you can maintain your cognitive independence, right? This is the Oscars. It's a supporting actor, but you are the best actor or the best actress. We are so grateful and so excited that you joined us tonight. Remember to grow your business with Voyage, to ignite your career with Voyage, and to start your voyage when? Today.
Hey.
Be sure to follow us here on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Start Your Voyage, and to follow us on LinkedIn. We are happy that you joined us. Thank you, and until next week. Bye now.
Yes. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.